McKinney brothers in studio. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. Feeling a little bloated right now.
Yeah, I've done Thanksgiving. I've done Thanksgiving with the McKinneys. It's an event.
Is it fun?
You get Luann cooking. It's an event. And really where I've really thrived is like a day like today, like the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Because you do Thanksgiving with the family, and then you know that you can go visit Dr. McKinney and Luann, and you'll have a whole secondary Thanksgiving. In fact,
not only a secondary Thanksgiving, you'll probably come home with food as well.
Tertiary Thanksgiving. But I've actually done that recently because we watched Tech and Texas play on the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hey, if we can for a moment, Henry Coleman and the guys going to battle here in a few minutes.
Can we get that pulled up on one of these screens?
We do need to have it. Yeah, I don't know if we can do that.
Basketball team, man.
If we can maybe get it on that screen, it'd be great.
The NIL crew holding it together?
A big win for that team
that was awesome.
Multiple reasons. Like, these games are also important. They're important that you win them, and Penn State was quad one, right? They're important that you win them, but they're every bit as important that you don't lose them, because of A&M's non-conference schedule beginning right now is just brutal the rest of the way. And you look, Memphis last night. Memphis in the last couple of days has beaten Michigan, and they beat North Carolina last night. They're going to be ranked. You see Virginia, obviously FAU, and then U of H is an absolute juggernaut right now. So massive games coming up starting right now. But you didn't get this shot if you didn't beat Penn State. So beating Penn State meant you got to play FAU, a team that was in the Final Four last year. So win or lose, that helps you to play that basketball game. And then also, it's you don't want, like a game like SMU the other day. They're a quality program, and you're going out there for a true road game. But that was a quad 3. You can't lose it, And so when you avoid a damaging loss, that's like double the win to me. And when you beat Penn State and you get them back for last year.
That's the big thing.
And I thought that was a tough basketball team, Penn State.
Yeah.
I thought the way they played, it was different than what we've seen under a new coach. They had new players. They had scorers. I thought that was a good test. And to win that at a neutral site and get revenge and set yourself up to play FAU, that's massive. And I think they would have beat Butler, but you set yourself up where Butler might end up being kind of a no-winner type of game, versus FAU, you win, in my opinion, either way just by playing it. So massive one yesterday, I believe, for Buzz and the program. And Henry and Wade, Boots came up big. I mean, that
when it was 12-12, do you remember that play? I don't know I'm not Mr. Basketball, but that was an awesome play, like drove to the goal.
God, you should have seen Seth playing basketball.
Seth could shoot.
I was down.
Seth could shoot.
Battling
Steve
down low.
was better at basketball. Well, you played it clear late. Yeah.
Seth was like, he looked like SpongeBob out there. Just a big
Balling,
square
though.
body.
Hold on.
Couldn't move very good.
I was a post guy. I wasn't like a dribbler. I admit that I wasn't a dribbler.
Didn't have a lot of ball skills. Like Lloyd Christmas haircut. It was horrible.
He had a Lloyd Christmas?
and I was like 10.
School.
I mean, give me a break.
Got like a Centerville Lloyd Christmas, too. That did not play at Westlake, did it? You went in there, and those guys are like, who's this country bumpkin come rolling into town? But Seth could. He had you could.
Had a good shot. Yeah. Billy surprisingly has a good shot.
Yeah.
You know what?
The lefty.
He's a sneaky athlete.
All day.
I feel like we should go play.
Oh, nice.
I think we should all go play.
Let's go to the rec. Let's start our whole TexAgs team.
Years, but I would do it for fun. There was a time where I wouldn't do it because I don't feel like I was in shape to move up and down the court. Now I could probably do that, especially if we played half court.
Bro, basketball is such a different sport now. Like, I went and played a few years ago.
Everything
up and down
hurts,
the court
man.
for like 3 or 4 times. My legs were on fire.
Yeah, I'd worry about
I'm like,
that.
I'm just not in shape.
And then you're like all your ankles hurt.
And then I sprained, and then I pulled a calf muscle. And I'm like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah,
done with
I tried
basketball.
running up and down the tower over there at Traditions, and then I think I tore a meniscus. Hey, by the way, last question before we keep going with who's better? Let's say who was better, you or Dan on the hardwood?
In basketball?
Yeah.
Dude, me and Dan, he was good, I think.
Yeah, he was.
We never played.
Before he started to look like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
With his shoulder. But
Yes.
Dan was
I don't recall him.
We
being
never
playing
went to, when we were at A&M, we never went to the rec and did all that.
Yeah, we did.
Like one time. I don't remember going playing basketball. Dan.
I'll tell you he was good. I'll tell you he was good. Randy
Dog.
McCowan was good.
Yeah,
Randy was the best
remember
one.
he was good.
Yeah.
Randy was actually the best. Like,
Wasn't Dat really good too?
pretty damn
I feel
good.
like Dat was good, yeah.
Dat would dunk on
I feel
him.
like y'all were doing that after I left.
Really?
Like that summer or something. Because that was not a thing for us.
Yeah, we were like,
when I was here.
we decided to drift away from the bars and go.
Like, what are we going to the gym for, guys?
Gentlemen, how concerned are you about this A&M defense against this LSU offense?
Man,
You're really trying
to
to bring us in.
I hadn't given that a lot of thought, to be honest.
I'm not. I mean, I think that's the best matchup that we have going into this game is our defense versus
What? Dude. Have you not seen
you like our offense?
Have you
going
seen our
against their-
secondary? I mean, that is not a good matchup, dude.
I think
the way they throw the ball, the way we defend the pass, man,
Yeah.
we could be in trouble.
I think.
I'm not saying that.
Can I go on the fence between y'all on this one and say
Killing him over here.
I think you're right, and I think you're right. I think here's my answer to that: can we get a ton of? Can we stop the run? LSU can run the damn ball now too. Don't. Please do not forget that.
The question is, how much different is this year's LSU team versus last year's offense?
Night and day.
Night and day.
Other than you still have Neighbors and Daniel, but I mean, they run it better. Their O-line's better. Jaden Daniels is healthy, whereas he came in here last year on an ankle and A&M got to him. But if they can't get to Jaden Daniels and make his life miserable, they got to get after him. And if they can't, he'll kill you running. But more importantly, Steve's right on. Like that matchup. And I like Chappelle. And I like some of these guys down the road. But that matchup is a nightmare. No matter how good you are at corner. And A&M's got questions outside of Chappelle. Harmon's been, I think, playing really gritty, good football.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's a size mismatch there. There's an athleticism. I mean, Brian Thomas is elite. And A&M finished second for him. But he ain't got nothing on Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is the best receiver in college football. He's putting up numbers that won Devontae Smith a Heisman. And they throw it deep down the field and get it to those guys. They're lethal in the red zone. They've mastered the art of the fade pass. You can cover them as well as you want, and they're going to catch it. So,
well, when did the team travel?
Today.
Friday.
Today.
Yeah, that's going to be a difference.
Isn't that interesting?
That's going to be a difference right
Isn't
there.
that interesting? And all these things
all of a sudden
Elijah's
that
doing,
causes them
I
to
really
cover better.
like, and I hope they get wins as a result.
That is good though. It is great.
But that matchup's tough unless you just get the hell after Jaden Daniels. So that front seven is going to have to really show up. I think offense is going to have to score.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to say.
And they have been recently.
And LSU gives up a ton of points. So Abilene Christian concerned me some.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
for the Aggie offense.
That's what I'm looking at. That wasn't like pristine out there at all.
No, they did not. They did
O-line
not look
still
like
had issues.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Well, the A&M offensive line had issues leading into the LSU game last year, and somehow miraculously,
you're right,
looked like a whole different unit in one game. So you never know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do agree with you. I mean, I think our defense does match up with them in the front seven, and I think that if we can run the football, get pressure, like you said, Liucci, that is going to help take some pressure off those cornerbacks. But if they get going and getting plenty of time to throw the ball downfield, I just feel like we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Offensively,
hopefully we don't give them time.
We got to run the football.
Yeah,
we have got to run the dang football.
You got to help. You got to help Jalen
Yeah.
out, and if you can run it, Henderson can run some.
Yeah.
I do think you can start to cause them some problems. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little more QB run game this week than we have the last 2 weeks.
We're going to need it.
Yeah,
and it makes a difference.
RP,
I mean, when it comes to the running game, you talk about adding yards and giving the defense another guy to have to worry about. I mean, a running quarterback can make a lot of difference in the run game.
It really stinks. And Jalen, I do like his willingness to chuck it deep. because these LSU DBs are bad. It is a bad. You think we're thinking about A&M secondary? LSU secondary is really bad. You just have Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Henderson, and that ain't no knock on Henderson. Henderson's starting his third game of his career. Jaden Daniels will be one of 3 players in New York City for a Heisman.
Yeah.
So this A&M defense is going to have to help, and that A&M running game is going to have to help. And Ananias and Noah and Ja'Day Walker,
Moose,
the tight ends, Moose might be an LSU killer again. I tried to get him all gassed up 2 weeks ago about it, and he went out and he made some plays, had a 100-yard day. Maybe he's rolling into it. Moose is my guy. Like, I mean, I think we got an understanding that he's got to go out there and kill LSU. But so.
Well, I'm looking at some of these totals, guys. The Arkansas game with Arkansas's not a good team.
Yeah.
They had a chance to win that game. It was 34-31. Bama, who's got a defense similar to A&M, better secondary. But that game, LSU only scored 28 points. Florida did not. I think Florida gave up 52 points, but they scored 38 on LSU.
Yeah, without being an explosive offense.
So I see a path offensively to keep up with them.
Well, Ole Miss, lit them up, and I've watched Ole Miss all year, man. At their peak, their offense looked good against us, but it was against literally
we didn't have anybody
with your third and fourth or fourth and fifth corners with zero college experience, essentially. And there was a stretch of that game where they weren't. It took a Herculean effort from their receiver in Trey Harris. Ole Miss's offense is not unstoppable. We saw it last night. It's not unstoppable on any level. And they went through LSU like water.
55 points.
Heck, who else? Auburn. No, LSU lit Auburn up. It was Ole Miss that struggled with Auburn. But point being, this defense is, for LSU, it's not historically bad, but it's up there as one of the worst.
Do you think that we reserved any of our offense versus ACU? Like, that was a given. We didn't want to throw any wrinkles in there with it being 100% Petrino. Do you think that we held back? Because it wasn't an impressive offensive performance, and it looked like nothing had changed. So I'm sitting up there going, well, I guess it really was Petrino's offense. Or was he holding back? That's kind of my
Well, you guys
theory.
tell me, because how hard is it to completely flip an offense with a quarterback that's played 3 college football games?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I understand.
So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't know how much you really can do in this short amount of time with such an inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the difference in it, when you get into a quarterback like that, there's such different styles between him and the other 2 that we've had, right? So it's not like you have a different playbook, but you also have a different set of plays that he's more comfortable or more suited to.
Yeah, plays you can't call.
And you look at the ACU game, Seth, I mean, to me it looked like they only did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's understandable.
They weren't calling plays that they had to because they had to beat certain defenses. They were just like, just run right, run left.
I bring this up because it was what happened last year, the UMass game. A&M's offense, and I know weather played a part, did not look good. They did not look good in that game.
Yeah.
And then a week later, they showed everything. Like it was a different team.
You're not going to show much against teams like that because you don't have to, basically.
It should be fun.
By the way, just to give a quick update, this game is going at a frenetic pace. A&M leads Florida Atlantic 14-13. So just early.
We like a picture-in-picture somewhere.
We're going to try to get that.
Yeah, we're going to have to
here
get
in the
Nick
break
to get us a TV here.
Where have you seen? Okay, you mentioned the line being an issue. Where the offense, though, over the last month has been a much better offense. What have you seen from the offense that? After the Tennessee game, they've been scoring 30 points in every game they've played.
To me, they've started slow. It's like that is our offense. They start slow, and then they get better. But, I mean, like against LSU, you don't have time to do that. I mean, it's going to be out of hand on all that stuff. So you've got to start early, and it's possible to do that. It's like the offensive line issues are something that are just mind-boggling to begin with, in that early parts of games. And if they can just come out and come with a mentality like they do later on in games on play one, then they're going to make their best effort to beat LSU. It's going to be very tough, especially on the road.
I don't think I've ever seen – this offensive line has played well at times of late. I don't think I've ever seen an Aggie offensive line like miss more guys
Slide
clean.
protection?
Yeah,
It's
I've never seen it. And it's like if you could just eliminate the mental or overcommits or like guys that just come through unblocked and just let guys get beat when guys beat them. Mm-hmm. I think this entire you've got this, you still have Jimbo Fisher as your coach. B, you've got an entirely different looking season, like in trajectory. And the more I think about, like, we've seen them play well at times, and it's just like, but they'll play well for a stretch and then give up a disastrous rush, and then there goes your quarterback for the year, or there goes that key drive, or like A&M's trying to go down and score and tie the game, and there's it's just been.
It's hard to put
brutal.
an exact finger on it, but just when you watch them play at times, you can tell there's a lack of communication, not only between the offensive line, but the offensive line and even the quarterback. You don't see a lot of changing protection, shifting, which guy you're going to go to and stuff. And even when that happens, it seems like it doesn't get communicated because then you see a guy come free.
Did you see the play the other night where Jason Kelsey, by the way, great documentary for you two to watch, I think. Have you watched it?
I haven't. Yeah, I'll check it out. Though.
Amazon Prime, or Prime, whatever the hell you call it. But it's watch it. It's good, especially if you want like football, family. Kind of takes you through that whole.
What did he do?
last
Did he
season.
pop out? I mean, you got me.
The other night,
what he did.
he's like basically arguing with his hand on the ball with Mahomes, who's a Hall of Fame, or not Mahomes, Hurts, Super Bowl quarterback. He's basically saying, no, we're not changing to that. And he's like, he's arguing with him while they're at the line of scrimmage. He's like telling him, no, this is, he knows
communication
what's coming, between both.
Experience, the position of the safety, this, that, and the other. You're like, no, that's not, it can't happen. There's, you know what I mean? Like if the safety is in certain positions, they're like, if it's, what's happening. Mm-hmm. They're going to tell you what is going on in a game. Yeah. And the best ones are the ones that can hide it the best. And then you've got the other teams that don't trust their safety enough or whatever. And what's coming. Like when you played like the Steelers with Troy Polamalu, it was like, that was the hardest defense to me. Why? To try to ever get a handle on.
Just because he could do anything.
He could be right in the line, pop out, and go cover. Yeah. Like there was like only a handful. Him and Ed Reed, like those two defenses in my book were the hardest two that I ever played against. Trying to scheme wise and figure out, incredible.
We're here watching the basketball game tied at 18 apiece.
Big day.
Did you see Seth jump right there?
I saw it.
That was great.
It is the final countdown. Steve and Seth McKinney
with us.
There was
no warning.
Billy's with us. Guys, another football thing I wanted to get into, or I guess we're going to do a lot of football, I should say. Ruben Owens looked really good last week. I know the opponent, but it was every game I've watched him play.
He's coming, man.
I feel like he's a step away from, and he had a very productive game.
Yeah, you usually see that with those freshmen, especially at running back. You'll see them kind of start to develop. The game's so fast for you when you're playing early on, and then it starts to slow down, and then a guy, especially like at running back, those holes you start to see the holes before they happen as you start to get further into the season. Yeah, he's going to be good.
You guys are like the historians about the A&M program and our players, but I don't remember, like in high school, A-Chain, every carry was like 12 yards, right? Oh, yeah. But his freshman year, he didn't I don't know, you tell me, he didn't dominate until later. Is that true or not?
He got better as the season went on.
I think they made a mistake throughout the first couple years of his career, not giving him the ball enough, and they were the balancing act between him and Spiller is not easy because Spiller's so talented, but there was obviously some missed timing there that I think may have. You think about things where the tenure goes south and it's fourth quarter against Ole Miss when he's gashing their ass, and you don't put him on the field on the key fourth down drive and you go 3 and out.
That was bad.
Or throw an interception because you're in 3rd and long. It's the drive late against LSU in Baton Rouge 2 years ago when he's gashing them again, and you don't put him in, and you throw it on 3rd and 2, and I'd
almost forgotten about all that.
He gets knocked out, runs out of bounds 2 yards short of a first down, and A-Chain's gashing him. Like, these are ways you lose football games that you have to win to get over the hump or keep your job, or either or both. I think they got 2 options this week. Ruben Owens is special. Mm-hmm. So is Le'Veon Moss. Yeah. And Le'Veon's healthy. He barely touched the ball. Yeah, he barely touched it last week.
I can never freaking tell with this.
Well, yeah, I know. But that's why they barely played him last week. It was just get your feet wet. He's good to go. How
much did he play? Looked like he played one play.
Carries,
I think he had one carry.
Yeah. He's fine.
Good.
Okay. So,
okay, sure. Okay, Billy.
Yeah. Just figured you'd want to know that since this is what we do. But give me both those guys and give me a little Amari Daniels.
Yeah.
He runs tough. I think he brings – I do think there's some issues there with a couple of those guys in pass pro, and Le'Veon is noticeably better than the other two.
Yeah.
And with that
I'm not
said,
sure any of them are very good.
I agree with that.
Best of the worst.
Gotta wonder where that is in terms of how coaching factors into that. I don't understand. And I'm not saying it's a running backs coach. It could just as easily be like what they're asking them to do or how they've been taught to pick ups. I don't know, but they've certainly been bad in as that last line of defense.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of that, in fairness, that O-line, a lot of the extra man thing has to do with the offensive line.
The running back pass protection has probably been as bad as the O-line pass protection.
But Steve,
but they can run the damn ball. I know that.
Yes.
I know for it happened in most meetings. There was at least one meeting, and it was the offensive line and running backs, and you talked about picking up blitzes. It wasn't like a long meeting, but you talked about it.
Yeah, you did.
Because that's just how it goes. And
all your little blitz drills and stuff that you do and walkthroughs. I mean, it's running backs and offensive line, tight ends and stuff.
Right.
So it's technique. It's fundamentals. They're on the right guys a lot of times.
Yeah.
They're not protecting.
Right.
They're getting beat physically. It's not always mental with them.
What about we don't have receivers? What does that
even mean?
What do you think it means?
What are we talking
I don't know.
Do we have any receivers for the game?
Are we going to have one guy in particular? Are we allowed to talk about that?
We can't talk about it because I don't want this guy to get really upset on TexAgs because I don't write an update there first. And so give me till the next commercial so I'll post it because I've got to do everything according to exactly what a certain contingent of the loudest
and then radio.
People
I didn't realize. My bad.
Makes the job really fun. Jesus. Trying to balancing act here. And nobody knows more than you that I go way out of my way to not give up stuff on radio before it's in writing. Yep. So when I do, chill the hell out. My God, dude. There's a small contingent of people. It's do you deal with this at McDonald's?
Oh, God. You don't want to deal with my customers.
I want the McRib today.
But you know what?
There's a few McRibbers on there on the site. It's man, this crap, it's an easy job. What happened here?
We're all tied up, in case you're wondering.
It's an easy job because it's so fun. But it's not easy because what people need to understand is what I wrote. On this coaching search, I'm trying to do what's right by the subscriber and the fans first, and my approach to covering these type things and what I believe is right versus not jeopardizing the search for your football program.
Yeah.
And some coaches, maybe you want me to jeopardize it.
Reasonable
I can
should know
float
that.
it out there and everyone can erupt and run it up the flagpole that, hey, administration, we hate this hire. But my goal is to not ever interfere and screw up a process or what Texas A&M is trying to do.
Of course. And you've always been great at that.
I like this process,
whether it's assistant coaches, that is my number one goal is to not screw it up for Texas A&M and you.
Yep.
Then from there, I go with the reporting of it.
I think this whole search has been
Get ready. We got a good update coming.
Very well.
We purposely avoid some topics on this show to put it on there.
I mean, there are 99%.
What's the difference?
What's
the difference if you put it on TexAgs, you say it on TexAgs Radio? I mean, to me, it's all the same. Why is it different?
What do you come on?
Look, well, I'm not.
Because it's premium. Because they're
there does need to be a premium, but
the
premium is far outweighs what goes on in this show. And
I mean, you have been lacking a little bit with your updates. I mean,
for people like you.
Oh man, where's his sock? What's his sock?
Yeah, I knew Seth's back in the day. I don't know yours.
Oh, I don't have a sock. I need one.
Sorry, your insults are flying right over my head.
I'm too dumb to have a sock. I'll go in there and post my real name.
People think I have one. I'm like, dude, you think I have time? Like if I had a fake account and was posting on it, you know what a distraction that would become in my life? Like you said, I have a hard enough time just keeping up. on my own with the content and the radio and the being an owner of the business and having a life outside of this, which you won't let me have. Even my friends like just grinders.
I have not grinded you.
Who are we hiring? Who's it going to be? Come on,
yes.
man.
Oh, so that's a cheap shot because Steve and I have been very, very tame.
Very respectful.
You have.
How have I not?
How do you think he has?
I don't know.
How are you
I
talking
can't. I'm
about,
speaking
dude?
for myself.
Come on, man. I
text
know
you
you
one
know.
time.
Just tell me.
To go back on his point, beyond the one person he was talking about, I did expect a little bit more from Anias last week, but Ja'Day Walker a couple weeks in a row has played really well.
Yeah, good for him.
I mean,
Hopefully
after
busts
that
a
little
slide
dance
or
he
whatever
did,
that
that little
is.
slide thing, I mean, dude, I've been practicing that all week.
I'm afraid I dislocate my hip trying to.
I've almost about got it down pretty good.
When you
I'm
do,
gonna
you're
break
gonna-
it out for you guys.
Can you do better than Billy? Can we have like a slide off?
I didn't have
yeah.
a practice, but if you look at that video towards the end
was-
of it, I
it was
kind of hit
okay.
it.
It
Yeah,
was all
I
right.
kind of hit a little
If you
rhythm.
practice it enough, you can do it. Seth, you should do it, man.
I'm out.
Come on.
Not even
Seth
trying
broke
it.
his foot the last time. He tried
He did. Yeah, you should not dance. Never mind.
Oh no.
it. Nuno,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
what does this mean when you do this?
I was like waiting to talk because I try not to talk on top of you all. That's my goal at the end of the day. is not to-
Congratulations. That is welcome.
Thank you so much. man.
Such a professional.
Thank
You are.
Thank you.
It's like
Thank
you've
you.
done this for years.
Very rarely do I talk over you. That's
No, I know.
my goal, but I'm waiting.
I wish I had more of the same, but I don't.
No, but you do a great job.
I get a couple hours a week, not 15.
That's true. Do I really
No.
get 15? Do
I mean,
I?
It's your
Nope.
soapbox, dude.
Do you
Yeah.
need 15?
No. we can do a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
but-
15 hours of.
I'd be happy to double your workload.
Okay.
It's like
Push you up to
constant
8. I'll push you
radio.
up to 8 hours a day.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
He starts getting weak. He's like coming in looking all
that ain't gonna
frail.
happen.
That would be the
Cut off
first
his
thing that would have
workout.
to go because it's not going to be family time, so it would be the workout.
That's right.
No, I just wake up at 4 a.m. and work out.
What happened to Nuno? Well, he's eating too much chicken. He's eating 12 ounces instead of 8.
I have 8 ounces
He
of
doesn't
pork
have,
chop ready to
he doesn't
go.
have time to weigh it.
I did weigh it this morning.
You're a weigher, huh?
I'm oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
To the
That's
gram.
discipline. That is some discipline right there.
Yeah.
You know, just in case.
Is that what we're calling it?
That is what it's called.
That's
dude.
what we're calling it, discipline.
What is it? You make abs in the weight room and you reveal them at the dinner table, something like that.
I've not heard that, but
Let's talk A&M
Makes sense.
receivers.
What-
Anias, Ja'Day, Noah Thomas, they're going to have to make plays. And, like, if you're a competitor, why are you – if I'm Anias Smith, and I know he's a competitor, but you're in your last game.
Is it though?
Well,
Oh,
he probably.
come back,
He
come
might play in a bowl. If
more
anyone's
here.
going to play in a bowl in that situation, it would be him. But, like, it's your last game. Are you going to go out and say, hey, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, like, you know, forget them. This is about us. Okay, so I'm Noah Thomas. I'm going to match what they do. I'm going to match what A&M does. I mean, I'm going to match what LSU does. Malik Neighbors, you want to go make a ridiculous back of the end zone catch? Noah Thomas, I'm going to do the same thing. And that, to me, is where, you know, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Are those guys going to step up and have a massive afternoon in Death Valley? Because if A&M wins, I'd say 2 of those receivers have to be, like, in the 90-yard plus range. Moose.
easily could be.
I keep not saying Moose. He's the most likely to do it outside of probably Anias. Those are the 2.
oh, no.
If you get Ja'Day and Noah to make some plays, then I think you're really cooking.
Dude, that play Moose made against ACU was
Oh, that was awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Love it. Then the Creed repo, that was great.
Oh, yes, that was good.
He's not going to do it.
Love
He's
Creed.
not going to do it.
12-0 run by Florida Atlantic right now. They're up 37-28.
Looking
It's
good.
falling apart at the seams right here.
It
This
wasn't a good-
pressure.
That radio break was not timely for us.
I mean, look, Florida Atlantic's obviously really good, but A&M's going to have to regroup. You got to play better. Then they will. Look, if there's a team capable of gritting it out and coming back, but I think FAU looks like they're hitting some shots here.
2 turnovers in a row.
And you're
Oh,
turning
my-
the ball over.
Oh, wow.
Another
Yeah.
15-0 run.
5 points
They
on 2
are-
turnovers in a row. That was
You got to take another
was
timeout here.
bit of
if
a
you're
dagger.
Buzz.
They're hitting shots. They're playing defense, playing at their pace.
Yeah,
A&M
that's the
playing-
problem. I think is there's like a quick
that
three,
was
but they
good.
made
I'll
it.
take it. There
But a
we go.
quick
That was
3
neat.
there.
I don't like that.
I like it. Stop
I don't
the
like it
momentum.
long term, but if somebody's going to do it, it's Wade Taylor, and if somebody's going to bring you back from this, it's got to be I think it's got to be Wade and Boots.
Now let's get a quick strike.
So we'll see. Lot of basketball left. Come on now.
Keep it under double digits, please.
A lot of basketball. Look, you say that, and you're right. I'll say you're down 9 with how much time left?
5 minutes, 17 seconds.
Why can you not cut it to a 2 or 3 point deficit at halftime? You can't outscore a team by 6 in 5 minutes. So
absolutely.
Well, they
let's
just
go. I'm. It's a long game. Let's go now. They got to defend better. That's for sure. And I don't like the way they really defended yesterday either. To be
I didn't
honest
either.
with you.
Freak of the week time, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the Freak of the Week.
I'll go ahead and lead us off.
Let's go.
I think the guy has been the best defensive player we've had all year, and I hope he wins some kind of great award. But I can't wait to see Edgerrin Cooper go out and have a great game on Saturday. I'm excited.
Edge Cooper, good one.
Interesting pick.
And by the way, not that we haven't talked about this already, but a lot of prayers to Edgerrin Cooper and his girlfriend's family. I know, Seth, you've got a family connection there.
Yep.
So just a tragic event in his life and their family's life. So
yeah, very sad.
He'll be playing with a heavy heart. There's no doubt. But my freak of the week this week is going to be Moose Muhammad for obvious reasons, based on last year and last week. And I feel like he probably mentally feels like he's got a new lease on life. So I'll go Moose on that one.
I'm going Reuben Owens.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
I think Reuben. I think they're going to run the ball pretty well this week. I'm not going to call for the 100 yards, but I'm going to say 85.
Okay.
I'll take that too.
I think he. Just waiting for him to just bust that long one.
I know, right?
know.
He's got it in him, man.
So close.
I guess their longest run of the year was Mari Daniels against Auburn.
Yeah.
They had,
that was it.
Le'Veon had a long one or two, like 30 plus, but they haven't had much at all in the way of.
I just want to see Reuben Owens just striding those long legs.
Yeah, he's got track
just Eric
speed.
Dickerson it down the sidelines.
Yeah,
that's my freak.
Would be nice.
Florida Atlantic's defense is really, really good, guys. Let's move on to the Sleeper of the Week, presented by The Sleep Station. Go see Jared McLeod and ask about the Tempur-Pedic mattress. In the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey, also ask about the Purple mattress in front of the Lowe's at William D. Fitch and Highway 6, the website, thesleepstation.com.
It's the Sleep of the Week.
By the way, though, regardless of outcome, and by no means am I throwing the towel in on this thing, with this much time left, but God, they're white hot, like they can't miss. They are good defensively. Nuno and A&M's on pace to score over 80. So, like, these are learning experiences.
Yeah.
And they're going to get engaged in some of these type games in SEC play and more importantly in the postseason, where you got to learn, like, how if your defense isn't working, how to keep scoring and stay in it. And they are getting it done offensively there.
Henry Coleman hits the floor. He's in a little bit of pain. Oh, no.
I don't like it.
All right, Nuno.
Sorry, I just said, oh, no.
I mean,
this is such a distraction right
meltdown.
now.
You guys asked
Sleeper.
for it.
Sleeper of the week.
Sleeper.
My sleeper of the week is going to be. It shouldn't sound like one, but I'm going to go with Fadil Diggs sacking Jaden Daniels 2 times and having 2.5 tackles for loss.
Wow.
That's a big game.
I tell you what.
Very specific
and
big
radio,
game.
but we'd love to call you back at 11 since this is the 4th call.
I'm dying to figure this one out.
I got to know who this is.
Who are you going with?
Sleeper of the week. Oh, my goodness.
I'll go then. I'm going with the offensive line. They've had restless sleep all year. Hopefully they'll wake up refreshed on a cloud mattress or whatever it's called.
The purple
mattress. They get a great night's sleep. You get some mental clarity and focus from play one.
I hope they get a good night's sleep.
And
I wonder what kind of beds they use in Baton
At least
Rouge.
they're not in the hotel room for 2 nights.
2 nights in a crappy bed.
That's true.
I guarantee they don't have purple mattresses.
Can you imagine 2 nights of
Baton Rouge,
bad
Courtyard
sleep,
Marriott.
bad food, like hotel food? Those hotel hamburgers.
I think they bring their own. I think we've graduated since you played. Like there's some kind of catering that goes on or something.
Is it really?
Maybe
I don't know.
not.
It's been a minute since I've traveled as a team.
I think when they get there, they probably got like Whataburger or pizza or something. When they get there at like 1 a.m., like they did in Miami. That's on Thursday.
The 2 nights before night.
Yeah, let's get a good night's sleep, guys. Get in your beds by 3 a.m.
There are actually some scientific studies in that your performance in the night sleep 2 nights prior is actually a lot more important than
Critical,
the night
yeah.
before.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
amazing we didn't know about that. Anyways.
Well, everybody talks about it now, and people forget that I'm the one that brought it up. Like, people like to mess with me about
That's
that,
been a
but I
thing
like
for
to
a
point
couple
out
years.
how everyone jumps on it, and then there's like, hey, what about this? Well, you didn't even know about it and do your job until I talked about it for a year plus.
I'm pretty sure I talked about it in 2017.
Who told you about it?
You told me about it, and I was like,
That's all.
that's
I was just
freaking
wondering.
nuts.
Henry
did.
Coleman is walking, by the way. So
Well, that's good.
looks
but
like he's
he
walking off the court.
He does,
Pretty good looking gait, too. Not too limpy.
but he's coming
tape it
on.
up. He'll
He's,
tape it up
he's
on the
leaving the
replay.
court.
Yeah, he's probably done.
Now, Steve,
He's done for today.
Steve.
thing that I don't like is that I'm not going to speculate.
All right, let me give my sleeper pick.
They need him, man, and
Yep.
with no Marble,
It's a little bit of an
and as
ankle.
good as he's been playing, I mean, this is an absolute must for Henry Coleman to be back out there.
All right, I'm going sleeper. Can I pick Noah Thomas?
You can just
Can
do
we
it.
count him
Pick
as a
whoever you
sleeper?
Whatever
want.
the hell you want.
Yeah, I
is
mean,
your radio
he has been
show.
kind of a sleeper.
Noah Thomas should make.
gonna be a good
Noah
game
Thomas
for him.
needs to have a 100-yard game in this thing,
Mm.
and really elevate and like I said, be that guy to say, hey, my future's as bright. I'm going where those guys are right now. And this is a chance for a breakout game, much like Moose had last year before he was restricted this year.
Don't look now, boys.
Seth?
What? I can't commentate?
He just jinxed him.
No, not in the way you just did it.
Can I give you guys a name that probably isn't a huge sleeper per se?
Seth factor.
Go up.
Max Wright.
Okay.
Just a name to consider.
Would
like,
love to see him have a big game, his last regular season game.
last regular season
I'm
game.
on
He's
board
played
with
really
that.
well this year.
I know the team would rally behind
I
it.
love what Max has brought to this football team.
I do too.
But I'll take you one step further,
Okay.
and I'll say Max and Jake,
Okay.
the two tight ends.
The two tight end set.
Jake Johnson watched a lot of LSU football,
That confused
watching
me
his
for a
brother
second.
Max play quarterback, and I think he probably would love nothing more than to go down there and
boy.
have a really good football game.
he would.
And I believe he was committed to LSU
He
for a
was.
long
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
that's
he
right.
was. And so
How's Mac?
this will be a big one. This will be
How's
a big
his
one
brother
for him.
doing? He recovering from his broken ribs?
I would hope he's recovering.
It's life-threatening
Is it
rib.
healing?
I think he'll. The bowl game would be interesting. to
Yeah.
see.
It would be.
But you're not going to see him on Saturday unless everyone's keeping a really grand secret from me. But
I can't imagine.
suppose I could ask.
I bet he wants to
specifically.
play in this game pretty badly.
Oh, I know it sucks. It sucks.
When we come back on TexAgs Radio, the final pick 6 of the regular season, we'll do one
Hey.
for the bowl games.
It's a
We'll
big-
get into that.
This is the regular season championship, though.
Do we do that?
Do we separate it?
We should be.
Because you're in first place?
Yes.
I disagree.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I think
I'm
we'll just go
horrible.
with the rules
I
we've always
think
gone with.
picking bowl games is such a crapshoot.
Yeah, because no one plays.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough.
Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Hannah's got the pick 6 for us. Let's get into it, friends.
I do. First up, we have number 11, Oregon State at number 6, Oregon. Oregon is favored 13.5.
Ooh. Big
That's interesting.
spread.
It is.
Big Seth.
I'm going with Oregon. That's a big spread, but I'm going Oregon. I'm not going to just believe that Oregon State
They
is.
beat him last year.
I don't care, Billy. Quit
Seth
trying to
doesn't
influence
care.
me.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Steve.
No, you go ahead.
I'm gonna go Oregon as well because I've never really liked Ungalele as being that good, and it's at Oregon, and I think they do have revenge in mind after last year. And Oregon State's a tough team though, but I like Oregon to cover and win in that one. I have. Nuno, would you like to give me that give up stick you just waved on the basketball team? Because I like to take it and give up my chances at this year's pick'em. So I will take the stick from you for now and say I'm giving up, but I'm going to try to go down swinging.
You know we didn't
and
get
move.
your picks last week.
Last week we didn't.
That's right.
You guys suck.
No. You left.
You know what
did.
you do when you do that? You go with consensus. I left because I had a life to lead
Yeah.
outside of your pick.
My understanding is they tried to get you
yeah.
several times in the lobby. That's what I was told.
in the lobby. Okay,
Yeah.
I have, like I said, like man, these guys, like, do you know how much they wear me out with minutia?
Just give him 3 and 3.
Those
That would
of
be
you
his best
listening,
week yet.
Like,
Yeah,
people know that sitting there know that when I walk out of that lobby, it's like a gauntlet you're running. Who's that?
Henry Coleman walking
We're cheering
back, but
him.
he's got warm-up shirt on.
It is a gauntlet that you have to run to get out of here with Minutia Mark, Minutia Mike, Minutia Mary,
The
Minutia
Lounge Lizard.
Matilda.
You got the Lounge Lizard, Dalton.
Hey, how many parking
Look at
spots?
this.
How many parking spots?
Down
do you
2.
want? I'm way more concerned with Coleman right now. Why? Maybe they're just saying you're not going back in until second half.
Well, the guy can't put on a shirt. He's just walking back out.
He's got his warm-up shirt on.
Okay. I like
He's
that.
moving around pretty good.
That looked like a guy that plans on.
All right, who
Right.
did you take, Nuno?
In the Oregon State-Oregon game?
Yeah.
I took Oregon.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oregon also.
All right.
Next up.
Nuno gave up, and it's a 2-point game at the half.
I never
Good
gave
job,
up.
Nuno.
Did he give up?
No.
You gave up. You
I was-
go, "Hey, I don't
You
care
quit
what
trying to
happens."
flip the script. Hey, no
I
matter
said-
what
I
happens
did-
in this game, I think
He
Literally.
literally said word for word, they're about to get run out of here.
That's not at all what I said. I said
did.
it is a.
Let's dial that
Play the
up.
tape. I said it is a long game. It is
I
a
didn't say a
long
word.
game.
I've been watching.
You may have said that also.
Yeah.
a lot of hedging
There's
going
a lot
on
of
here.
hedging.
We got to go play. I need a replay of
Well,
the
we
whole
can do that all day. It's
Yes,
luckily
it is
recorded on 3
recorded,
different places.
thankfully.
Love it.
By the way, if you're listening on the Zone, thanks so much. Keep it on for Louie. We'll have it on YouTube, continuing through
really,
it at
though?
TexAgs.com. I don't know. I'm
gonna
supposed to be
listen-
nice.
I'm going to listen to Louis today.
Okay, let's go to the Angry Elephant and use some social.
Go to the Angry Elephant here on KZNE,
News and social.
The Zone.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have number 2, Ohio State. At number 3, Michigan. Michigan's favored by 3.5.
I'm going Michigan here. I want them to win badly.
Run him out of there. Ryan Day comes racing to College Station. I'm actually going. I'm going Michigan as well. Although, man,
I want all my options on the board, Billy. I'm
that
sorry.
no Harbaugh
I'm sorry.
thing,
I'm a fan.
in my opinion, that is affecting them. There ain't no doubt. But I'm gonna go Michigan. I haven't liked Ohio State's offense this year.
Man,
You got Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got like 4 games where he's had 30 yards or less. That's
Ugh.
how.
How is right. I agree. I am going to take Ohio State on this one.
Okay.
At home, both undefeated. They've lost 2 in a row. Just, I'm assuming the players are like ready to win this one.
Miss Hannah.
All right. Next up, you have number 8, Alabama at Auburn. Alabama's favored by 14.5.
I think Alabama's just going to take it to them in this.
I could see them winning by like exactly 14.
Okay. So you're going Auburn.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, so that would mean Auburn would cover.
I mean,
that's how math works, Steve.
Well, dude, I don't gamble. I mean, I am leading this competition.
maybe
Did you win last year?
I've won it several times, last year included.
If you look at your record, I would still advise not to gamble.
I don't. I don't plan
I
to.
advise all of us not to gamble.
No, let me have Alabama.
He's above 500.
Yeah, I am above 500.
I'm going to go Alabama. This is going to be an absolute just.
I would have
they're gonna
lost.
play-
I would have lost.
What do they
money due
call
to
it in
fees.
Tuscaloosa? Joyless murder ball. That's what that's.
Joyless
about to be.
murder ball.
Good documentary, by the way. Continue on,
That's a
please.
documentary.
Murder Ball is, yeah.
All right. Continuing
Oh,
on, number 5, Florida State at Florida. Florida State's favored 6.5.
At
Yeah, they don't have their
Florida.
quarterback, right?
That's
Neither
kind of
does
scary,
Florida.
dude. That's a scary
I'm going to
one.
have to pick Florida State to cover this.
Who's their backup quarterback, Seth?
The kid that was doing TikTok
dances.
That's all I know.
What?
He's
I
doing
don't
like
know.
this
He's
one
just
with
doing
it.
TikTok stuff.
Is it the what was that? That used to be called the Nene.
Is he any good, though? I mean, do we know anything
The
about him,
gritty.
really? What do you know about him?
Gritty.
I don't know anything. What am I?
I think it's the name, what you just did there.
Yeah, that's a name.
You got to get like your back.
That's the
into
name.
it.
Yeah.
Back into it.
Did y'all see Billy doing his little dance out in the hall?
Yes.
We did. The
Okay.
slide.
We said at the end of it, I finally caught a little bit of a flow. It was rough at first. Shoes weren't helping me.
No. What about their backup quarterback? What do you know about him? I need some
quit
insider
trying to get
information.
all
Just stop
specific.
it.
Just
Just
make the
pick.
pick.
He ain't.
This is a big pick for me,
Look,
Billy.
he is not.
I've got a one-game
Jordan,
lead.
he is
It's
not
Florida's
Jordan.
backup,
He's not
too.
Jordan Travis. Graham Mertz is out. He wasn't
Oh,
any
he's
good
out
anyway.
too. All right, give me Florida State.
I'm gonna go Florida
Florida.
to cover, if not win.
He's trying to make that.
Somebody's asking on the YouTube page, what happens if Norvell loses this game when it comes to
He's not leaving Florida
Okay,
State.
that's it.
Then we hire him.
Yeah.
Basically, if
He's
he
not
loses, we win.
Everyone that loses a game this weekend is
Is eligible.
Come on now,
They're in the candidate pool.
Hannah.
All right, next up, number 25, Clemson at South Carolina. Clemson's favored 7.5.
Man, I don't.
just got a text from Zane grinding. Update on your story. I told you we'll put it out after the show.
Update posted.
Grinder alert.
I don't know.
We need
man.
a siren.
I guess I'm gonna go.
Grinder alert.
I'm gonna pick
alert.
South Carolina because I've picked way too many favorites. So South Carolina.
Where is it at again?
At South Carolina.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Give me South Carolina
I'll say
also.
that's great, Steve.
South Carolina.
I'm going.
Just trying to prevent
Trying
you
to
from.
stay sucker free over here. I'm going Clemmy.
Clemmy.
Dabo has
Mailed it in.
no. He's had
had a
they've
good
kind of
run.
rebounded the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they've looked pretty good.
I'm going with Clemmy to
This
go
is
8-4.
Now let me ask you
South
about.
Carolina. They suck.
Let me
I
ask
know
you
they
something
do.
about
I
South
just
Carolina though.
had
Do
to
they
make a
have
change.
all their starters are healthy? Quarterback.
I mean, I don't know if everyone, but
Spencer
yeah,
Rattler.
and
Their best receiver.
and, yeah.
You know
Leggett.
when I hear Spencer Rattler, all I hear is Gus Johnson from calling the OU game back in the day.
I
and
can't
just
stand
screaming
Johnson.
Spencer Rattler.
He
So
seems like-
forever, that's all I ever hear is the screamed version of Spencer Rattler.
Hollywood Brown. No, he was probably before that.
Anyways,
Maserati Marv. Him and Klatt just. I can't. I wish that coverage
Brand
of
of
college football would
yes.
just go away.
it's
Yeah.
too much. That's what you're known for, but that's
That's just
that's
my
what
opinion.
society
It's my
is these
opinion. It's my
days.
opinion. They're popular. in
my
some
opinion
circles.
too. I don't like McAfee.
For
You don't like Pat McAfee?
No,
I like.
I like him.
I don't.
I don't like his brand
Klatt, to
of.
me, it's too personal to A&M,
Yeah.
and like I just can't get down. With
Yeah, he
somebody.
seems like he has an agenda too
You know,
much,
Barrett Salee was personal on Jimbo.
Jimbo, yeah.
for sure.
Joe Klatt seems personal
With
at
A&M.
A&M.
All right, here's the
And,
big
like,
one. Big pick.
Screw off.
Big pick.
Hannah.
Texas A&M at number 15, LSU. They have LSU favored 11.5.
Well,
I'm picking A&M to cover. You know, you want to know why? They lost one game by more than that.
Yeah.
And it was in week 2,
And it was closer than
And
the
that was very competitive, and they lost.
you know what? I needed that level of optimism.
They
A&M
lost
will
they
cover.
lost by 6 to Bama. They lost by 7 to Tennessee. Both those games decided very late. They lost on the last play to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think they find a way. They're deep. We're not giving the defense enough credit because we're so concerned about that matchup, and I do think it should be a real concern. But
Well, we just saw what happened at Ole Miss, so we're gun shy.
Yeah,
But we have our corner.
But you had a guy go for 200 yards against you, and a running back go for 100, and a quarterback throw for 375, and you gave up 38 points, and you lost by 3. I mean,
Yeah.
so, and you are off to a horrible start. So I do think we're not giving the D enough credit. I think if they can get to Jaden Daniels, they have a chance to stay in this thing.
Give me A&M too.
All right. That it?
What were you
I'm in,
smirking
man.
about, Nuno? What came through on your text? I
Oh,
saw
nothing.
that.
Just somebody on the boards asking you a question.
What'd they ask?
Yeah. What
They go, Ezra Brooks says, will your post provide, quote unquote, clarity?
No.
Absolutely
Just
not.
breaking
I'm
news.
here to tell you. I mean, wherever your cutoff line of clarity is, I guess that depends on.
Can you just give them like enough tea leaves so they know exactly who we're going to hire?
Yeah, Billy, just come on.
That's all we need.
Let's
because
hash it out.
I'm here to tell you, there's no hire been made,
Does
and that much I can assure you, and I can assure you that unless it's happening like as we speak, and based on messages I've gotten during the show, I don't believe that's happening as we speak, and I'll leave it at that. And it's. I do think that they're narrowing, and this could very well come to a conclusion by as early as Sunday.
is there a D?
For like a Monday announcement, and if not, I think by like tomorrow and Sunday, we get into that mode of like, hey, we're in the it could happen any time mode starting tomorrow. I think starting tomorrow, you get into it could happen in any minute, and that might go on for a few days. But I said at the very beginning, I thought they'd have it by Tuesday, Wednesday after LSU. But I'm not sure. Like, I think the goal would be to have it by Sunday.
Can you just give everybody like who you expect them to hire? Like who do you think their number one pick is?
What are you freaking Barbara Walters over here? I think.
Is there a D
I'm just trying
in
to
either
think
his
like a
first
TexAgs
or last name?
What would they like to ask
John
Billy?
Gruden.
I think. Read the update.
Oh, nice.
I still don't say who the most.
Those end the
likely, but
show
I
right
think
there.
I just still go through a lot of like
Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3.
Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and I'm looking at like the names that have come up and the possibilities and what A&M's really looking for. And if I was still betting my hard-earned money, I would bet. Odds-wise, I would say, like if I was setting odds, I'd go Elko, Day. I'd go Elko, one of the candidates I mentioned, Day, Fish, as the guys I'd put on the hot board right now.
I mean, those are pretty good. All those are pretty good names.
I think people are sleeping on Elko a bit. I think people that underestimate like Fish's potential don't know. Like Steve said, he'll be a real relatable guy with the players.
Mm-hmm. Work well with NIL.
Yeah, like be someone that would
Quite a resume.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like both those hires. But there's other candidates. For those of you that don't go jump off this table. There are a couple others we'll talk about, and everybody can debate and argue and call everyone else stupid and whatever else we do on there right now.
And say things very definitively as if it's fact.
Well, there's been a lot of people on those boards that have done so.
A lot of smoke.
My friend who's friends with somebody in the athletic
My
department.
phone's blowing up about this guy.
We need the fish pond manager out there again.
This is an opportunity for people to really invent themselves on social media, and I see that happening every second on Twitter.
Yes.
I had someone yesterday saying, Lane Kiffin, this is really a game we need to watch. Lane Kiffin's really in play. You got a call yesterday saying Lane Kiffin was coaching his last game at Ole Miss, and that he was going to be the next head coach at A&M. And that comes from someone totally outside of A&M. I would be very surprised if that were the case. And I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I would be very surprised if it were that one.
And there we go.
You got to also think about who's hiring here. Like, the key players are like Ross Bjork, Justin Moore, certain members, of the board that are more, interested in it than others. And you got to understand the personalities, and you got to understand what just left in Jimbo and kind of I think the butting of heads between football and athletics. And, you're going to want maybe less of that, less of one guy running the whole thing and every element of it. And You that is human nature. That's factual. That is people looking at one way that said, hey, this didn't work. We're looking for something different. And so I'm not saying it's got to be somebody the polar opposite of Jimbo, but you have to factor that in when you think about who's making the hire. And I know people don't want to think this, but there is a psychology involved in this that you need to factor in as well.
Yep.
I heard this morning, but Nick reminded me Will Rogers entering the transfer portal.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well.
That was really interesting.
I didn't even realize he had more eligibility.
I don't know. That's
He's
solid.
6 years now.
That's solid. He's a good player.
Yep.
Can't blame him.
He looked awful last night. I think he was hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
he's hurt.
Completely different offense.
They ruined him with that offense. Yeah. That was a fireable offense what Arnett and them did with that offense. But it is what it is. They'll go get somebody new.
Yeah. All right.
I got an
on the wait
interesting
list.
New name on the update too. I don't think they'll hire.
That's what we call a teaser in the industry.
It's a completely off the radar guy. I think it reminds me of the East Carolina coach Godwin that was really impressive during interviews for the baseball job. But it was when you're looking at guys like Slosh and Tadlock and what's his Vitello, like you just can't really go hire him yet. But he's like somebody that they came away going, damn, that guy's going to be really good. Wow. A&M, I think there was a guy along the way that people will remember that name and go, you're sitting there going, was this Urban Meyer at Bowling Green? or at Utah before he, won a New Year's Six. You
Kinda
hired Fran over him, so that's where man, if you really want to go put yourself out there as an AD,
kind of like
I don't think
Jeff Traylor. You were pretty high on him early on.
Was I?
Yeah.
Can you delete that? Because I'm not trying to say bad things about the guy, but I never
joking.
was.
You never did.
That
was your TexAgs
Yeah.
posters. That
Yeah, like I'm going to say I wasn't high. I don't say I
him.
wasn't high on him, but I will say, I was way premature that people had him at the top of the list. In fact, it was insanely premature. And then people,
I thought that's who we were.
They
hiring
think
for a
someone's
minute.
at the top of the list, and then they just bury the poor guy.
It's been quite a journey.
It's like you
I've
don't
loved
want to be
reading
at the top of the list
Yep.
with the fan base because they'll just find reasons why it's
They'll rip you apart.
shitty higher. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not.
And I don't think that would have been the case. I'd love to see Traylor get an in-between job.
If he
Baylor,
if Holmgren,
Mississippi
Holmgren,
State.
Mississippi State, yeah.
These are jobs like I don't think.
Baylor, if that comes up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't disagree.
I think he'd kill it at Baylor, and then I think his next job, whether it was A&M or somewhere else, would be a
legit
very high-paying gig.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Happy
Thanks,
Thanksgiving.
Nuno.
Happy Black Friday.